Pardon me. I caught a frog in my throat right as I started the show here. Ian wants me to drop some knowledge on you. You ready for some knowledge drop? I did this morning, and a lot of my church-going friends be like, "Hey, you cannot do that. That's the sign of the devil, right? This is not devil horns." What is this? In chat, if you guys who know me should know the answer. What is, when I do this, what is the genesis of this that rock stars do? All the rock stars are. What is that? Who knows how that got started and what it really means? This, by the way, is the bad one. This is the good one. Who knows what this means? Somebody in chat, if you know why rock stars do this all the time, they think they're giving you the devil horns, they're not. So let's see who knows the trivia for today. Who knows the answer? The trivia winner for today gets nothing other than a virtual hug from me for knowing the answer to the question. But if you know, put it in chat. Otherwise, let's play and talk some craps. Today's going to be, by the way, a kind of a non-accurate day. I'm just kind of getting it out of here now. I'm going to do some analysis things today, but it's going to be mathy. It won't be perfectly accurate. It's going to be close enough for government work kind of a thing. I want to give you a sense of the math here. It means you only made 2 mistakes working at the meat processing plant. That's funny as hell. But that's actually close to the real story. It's very, who knows the real story? It's so close to the real story, it's fantastic. All right, today we're gonna do, I did a couple play styles. I wanna talk to you all, and again, in chat, I need your help here. Let me know if you watched Daily Paycheck today, what you thought. And that last week and this week, I've been doing a little bit of side-by-side, right? My way of playing, and then something else. I've been doing like the skill slash today. I've done the skill press thing. I did the iron cross modification, like a big giant quarter pounder with ease today. It takes a long time to explain both players' bets and to run all the bets, and I get less rolls in, right? But there's something to it to see, like, okay, at the big level, at $5,000, what does an iron cross look like at $5,000, right? What does the skill slash look like at 5K? What does a Dallas drawdown look like at 5K? And can you see yourself playing in those ways? Not with the money, but that style of play. So side by side is slow. I talk a lot. It takes a minute to deal. Crap, so you're not getting the rolls in, right? I want to know from y'all, what do you like? Like, what do you like to see? Is it just John, do your Dallas drawdown and that's it, and roll dice for us all day long so we can get some rolls in on Crapsy? Or do you like seeing that show as kind of a couple of ways to make a paycheck compared to one another and seeing where 2 different players land on a given day? And I think giving them, my way of playing plus somebody else for a week is good to really get a sense of like what's the A's and B's. So anyway, I want your thoughts in chat. So you tell me in chat what you want. Nobody has got the answer. Holy Roar says rock on, right? Skill, I thought it was love you. I love you. I don't know. Is that I love you inside? I don't know. Here's the story. So one of my favorite all-time bands, Black Sabbath. So again, going back to John history here. When I was in high school, I was an interesting cat, as you can imagine, in high school. I had, I think I had like a 3.7 GPA in high school. I was a pretty good student. I took honors and college prep stuff, so I was a good student. I played sports. I played spring, fall, and summer sport, or fall, winter, and spring sports every year, right? I played football, I wrestled, and I played baseball or golf, depending on what the year was, right? Every year, played 3 sports a year. Good jock, good student. I was also a little bit of a drug addict and smoker. Like, I would literally, after practice, I'd meet my stoner friends in the woods, and we would listen to Black Sabbath and just smoke dope when I was young. That's how I got playing in the band. I actually, when I got out of high school and dropped out of college, I actually picked up and said, I'm going to be in a band. I'm going to, I taught myself bass and everything else. Anyway, my favorite band growing up, still to this day, Black Sabbath. I love Black Sabbath. Geezer Butler to me is to me the quintessential metal bass player. Love that guy. But here's the thing. So they used to fight all the time. The band was known for the internal fighting. Tony Iommi, who's the guitar player, look at pictures of Iommi, right? On his left, I think his left hand. It's a right hand. He's a lefty. So his right hand, he's got 2 fingertips missing. He used to work in a meatpacking plant. Iommi worked in a meatpacking plant when they were coming up over in England. Anyway, he literally cut his fingertips off on a bandsaw, cutting meat. He was cutting bone, slipped off it, chopped off his 2 fingertips. And here's a guitar player losing his fingertips right? Can you imagine? This is literally the birth of heavy metal. The birth of heavy metal is that incident because two things happen. One is without his fingertips, right? He looks like this in real life. He can't play the chords. He can't get his fingers on play all the chords, right? He basically invents in 1967 or 8, I think 68. He invents the power chord, right? First finger on the top, second finger, or his pinky finger, playing the fifth. That's a power chord. He invents the power chord because his other fingers are freaking missing. That's the Black Sabbath sound. And then he learns how to play, and that's the thing, right? He gets other things involved, but the power chord and the minor chord that he gets off of the half a finger is the Black Sabbath sound. That's heavy metal. That's where the power chord came from Iommi missing his fingers, right? Well, here's the thing. In England, right? Another thing in England, in the old days, when you were a bad boy, they would chop your fingertips off as punishment, right? So in England, this is like this to them, right? Or the peace sign really is what they do. The peace sign is more their thing because they would chop their fingertips off and like, hey, and the thing was, I got both of mine. That was the old joke in England, right? For the guys who shoot the arrows, they would chop their fingertips off so they couldn't shoot the arrow anymore, and everybody else would be like, hey, I got both of mine. That's them giving the finger. So Ozzy used to do this to Iommi all the time, just flipping him shit. I got all mine. And he would do this to Iommi all the time, and then Iommi would beat him up, right? They would get all drunk, and he'd get his ass kicked. That's exactly the story. That's the story of heavy metal. That's where this comes from. So all the rock bands that are going, they think they're giving you devil horns. They're paying homage to Iommi. They're paying homage to Iommi. That's what that is. That is the birth of heavy metal. And to answer the question, I tune my bass B-E-A-D. I never use the top. 4-string bass. The top string is a B. I never use it. I use the top string as a bumper. So when I play really fast, my fingers bounce off the top string and they rebound back into play. I only play with 3 strings. I'm a 3-string bass player, and it would be E-A-D or it'd be B-C, F-sharp, G, depending on what tuning we were in. But that's how I did it. Isn't that great? So anyway, there's your crazy story for the morning. Your bit of knowledge from old Johnny right there. I don't know, how did we get on that story? I have no idea. How we got that story. Duracell, by the way, says, it would be nice to have a comparison of the exact same rolls and bankroll, right? I agree. Come back with like, here's the 25 rolls from today. How did everything do today? It's only meaningful over the course of 5, 6, 10, 30 days, right? You got to do like the same series and then do 4 or 5 ways of playing with all those same rolls over time. I do like to show the rhythm. Like when I'm playing, this guy had that, this guy has this, and we lost here and we won here. And it's good to see the bankrolls kind of grow and shrink as we do it in real time. But over the course of time, Duracell's right. You got to have better stats and run them against the live rolls. But anyway, there's all that. Let's see. Let's do a couple things before I jump into the bet analysis stuff. So again, August profit and loss for DPC. August is good, 8-1 so far. We're up about $5,100. Again, that big loss looms large over me. Today, actually, we started out with a $5,000 loss. Right, PSO'd in the first shooter, $5,000 loss, but we went back out and played, trying different things out. We actually worked ourselves back. I did a Dallas drawdown 2 more times, got even. I did an Iron Cross modification, which again got us back to even, and then generated another $500 in profit or something like that. So we worked ourselves out of it today. But today, if I'm doing this right, we should be 10-2. Not 8-1, or I guess 11-2, not 8-1. I really should log today's sessions as set. Maybe I'll go back and do it. I should log the loss and then win, loss, tie, win, kind of thing, to make this numbers. Matter of fact, I'm going to do that now that I've talked myself into it. I will go back and fix that because this looks wrong. I did lose today, and then we won a couple of times, so I should get the numbers right. Anyway, the final profit is the same. It's the rhythm of it though, because I want to show that there was a couple of PSOs in there. So we have to see that to be honest about things. But overall, we're at $47,000 in profit, not quite to the 50K in profit mark, although we are at $57,000 in overall bankroll. So we're still marching towards the 100K. I can't wait to get there and drop the mic on that, and then we'll that show is going to have to be reset and do something different. I don't know what it's going to be, but anyway, that's our DPC. I have no real update for Craps for the Cure. I do have a call today, actually, with Brian from Holy Roller, and a call hopefully later today with Chuck from Craps. I keep trying to get a hold of him, and we're having a tough time connecting. But I'm going to get those 2 calls out of the way so that we can lock in a couple of guests, time slots, that kind of thing. So more to come when it comes. I'll let you know all that. So here we go. Let's see. We have. All right. Let's do some expectations. I want to work this week on kind of a plan what we did last week, which was looking at our bets and what can you expect to really win or lose, and how do we calculate that, right? Here's a simple example, and we'll use this as kind of the Mendoza line, okay? A 66 inside, okay? 15 on the 5 and 9, 18 on the 6 and 8, $66. Here's what you can expect to happen, okay? If everything goes according to Hoyle, okay, you're going to lose the 66, and we're just going to same bet, no crazy, we're just gonna, 66 inside, same bet. Here's what you can expect if you're working with the puck. You're going to lose the $66 6 times. No question, you're going to have 6 sevens come up. So you're going to lose that much. 396 is your total. You're going to win $21 on one of those numbers. Those numbers will hit 18 times. As the 7 hits 6 times, your inside play will hit 18 times. That's the 18, right? That's what's going to happen. You're going to win, quote unquote, 378. You're going to lose 396. The delta there is $18. It's about a 5% difference, roughly. Okay, that's what you can expect on a regular 66 inside play. Right, about $18 to the negative every time you run that for the course of a full sequence. Right, that is a perfect, exactly, Duracell. This is a perfect pyramid. And I've got to show you perfect pyramid because the reason why, why is that so small? Hold on, I gotta fix that. That's driving me crazy. Hold on 1 second. It's gonna break the rhythm of the show, but I got to get this bigger. Why is it so freaking small? It's like my, I'm gonna put that back out there again. I can't seem to get the arrows to where it'll let me do the thing. Nope. Why won't it let me make it? Oh, I can do that. There we go. That's what I wanted. Oh my gracious. Oh my gracious. Put you back up there again. Jeez, I'm sorry about this, but this is the kind of thing that makes yours truly, like, makes my head explode when I see stuff that's not right. I just hate bad design. There we go. That's better. Okay. These are perfect pyramid examples. You're right. That's all I can do is show you perfect. I will show you some variants later on, but for right now, you've got to know perfect pyramid, what to expect. And no, you're not going to go to the casino tomorrow and see a perfect pyramid. You're not going to have this happen to you tomorrow. You're not. But if you go tomorrow and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and you go every day for a month, you'll be at about perfect pyramid. But that's law of big numbers, right? You will get there at some point over your life. But this is this is where the casino makes their money. The casino knows, right? Over billions of rolls, people that are doing the same bet 66 inside, they're going to win $18 every 36 rolls. That's how the lights go on, right? We know this. So that's going to be our baseline. Okay, let's look at what it looks like on other numbers. The same exact calculus, right? If you do a $66 place 6, again, you're going to lose $396. You're going to win $77 5 times for $385. It's an $11 difference, 11 versus 18. So you're a little bit better doing just a 6. Just a 6 for $66 versus 66 inside. You're going to lose $7 less over the course of a massive amount of time. Just one bet. If we go to the 5 or the 9 for $65, we'll do $65. 6 losses there is $390. The 4 wins are $364. $36 expected loss. The 5 and 9 are horrific. They're one of the worst house edges up on the box. And here's the evidence of that. You lose way more on the 5 and 9, lose way more in terms of getting paid on a screw job on the 5 and 9, way worse than everything else. But you're negative, right? Go to the 4 and 10, not bad, right? You buy the 4 for 66, you're going to lose 396. You're going to win 130, basically 3 times. 130, which is the $66 times 2 minus the VIG. You're going to win 390. You're going to be out $6. That's actually the best of all of them. Just literally go out there and do a $66 buy 4 and sit there and smoke your cigars. Over the course of time, you're going to lose $6, which ain't too shabby. Yeah? Right? Just one bet versus betting them all. $18 expected loss when you bet the inside. You think you have more chances to win, and you do. You will win more often, and you will. You will also lose a little bit more than when you're playing just one number, even if it's the 4 or the 10. Okay? Again, winning more less often versus losing more often, right? The way that this works out ends up being kind of in the same genre. Okay, there's not a whole lot of difference there, but the 4 and 10 are actually kind of interesting, right? What happens though if you get into a variant? Let's take a look at a variant. And let's take a look at like half pressing, because this is where I think it gets interesting. What if we half pressed? What if we half pressed? And what if the variant that we're in, we lost 6 times in a row, and then you did the half press and it worked 6 or 5 times in a row? What would happen in that case, right? You lose $60 on the 6 and 8 6 times for $360. That sucks, right? Okay, fine. Going back out there, right? And let's say you win 5 in a row and you half pressed, right? Where you collect 30, press to 90. Collect 45 on the 105 win, press to 120. You win 240, you collect 120, you press to 360. You win 420, you collect 180 off that one, press to 600. You win 700, collect 400, go to 900, right? If you follow that pattern, okay? If you get into a variant where you're 5 6s still inside the perfect pyramid, now let's go back to that, right? The perfect pyramid can be the thing. This is still 6 6s or 6 7s. It's still 5 6s. The rhythm of them, all the 7s came in a row, all the 6s came in a row. Your SRR would be the exact perfect. But look at your wins here. You're making 775. Losing 360, positive EV. If the variant you're in is you win all those times in a row. You see what I'm saying? Now, you can take this and wind that back to my daily paycheck shows. When I say to you, if you work the variant, I can lose 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, and then I can win progressively more each time. If you progress your wins like this and you catch them in a row, you can be at exact perfect pyramid. You can be at exact SRR, exact BSR, exact whatever metric you want to. If your wins come in a series, you can overcome the negative expectation in that particular variant, if that's what's happening to you. This is what that looks like if it does happen to catch the 5 before a 7 and you're just half pressing. Okay, now it can go the other way on you too, right? Here's one where we half press and we win 60, collect 30, go to 90, win 105, collect 45, go to 120, and lose on the next one. You lose a net of 60 because that's what you put out there to start with. That happens to you twice. So you have 2 wins, 2 losses. Let's say you win once more, and then you lose the other 4 times you're supposed to lose, right? Here's a weird, you can press, and then you're kind of like stutter starting, right? In this case, you would have collected 180 and lost 360. You're minus 180. And even though you still got the right number of wins, you still got 5 wins, they came in a weird sequence. And you're still half pressed. So half pressing in a good sequence means you lots of money. Half pressing when it's not so great, win, win, lose, win, win, lose, lose, lose. Here's where you end up, way negative, 50% loss, right? It's even worse if it's choppy. If you win, collect 30, go to 90, and then lose. And that happens to you 5 times. Win, lose, win, lose, win, and you're chopping out, right? You get 1 hit, 7, 1 hit, 7, 1 hit, 7. And then you lose 1 more in the last one. You've only collected 150 in that case. And you lost 360, minus 210, right? So the chop, right, can also be a variant, right? The chop can be a variant. Win 2, lose 1, win 2, lose 1 is a variant. Win 5 in a row is a variant. All those things, and that's where you're going to end up in, right? Although all these examples are perfect pyramid. It's perfect, 5 wins, 6 losses. It's just the rhythm in which they come, right? Which speaks to the whole idea of what should you do, right? And what should you do? So Duracell says same scenario, but power press and you're way ahead. It's all timing. This is what it comes down to, right? It's all about timing, right? And I'd say to you all the time, betting low when it's not going well pressing when it's going well. So after a full collect, the next one might be a half press. Full collect might be a half press. If you're progressively going on successive wins, and on losses you're only ever taking the minimum loss, you have a better chance of survival than just always going after it, right? And again, that's my experience, and this is what I look at. When I look at numbers like this, and again, this is not a perfect example. I could do this 75 different ways. All the different combinations of sixes coming and sevens coming. At the end of the day, you're gonna win 5 and lose 6. It's what order they come in. When they come in a great order for you like this, that's the one chance you got, right? So, let's see, to say my way is best, let's see, to say my, I didn't say that, did I say my way is best? I mean, you're talking to somebody else maybe. Dark, I was looking if I reset all the press bets to base on point winners. Well, again, I can't, in this case here, I'm just playing the 6 against the 7. I'm not doing other stuff either. Like, this is not conditional logic, right? This is just, pardon me, I have a frog in my throat. This is not conditional gambling. This is just the 6 versus the 7. That's all I'm looking at here. So if things come out according to plan. Now, if the 7s all come on the come out, this might be this case where all the 7s come on the come out, right? And you never face a 7. That could happen too. You can have all 6 7s on the come outs, all your 6s are are when the puck's on. That could happen. That could be a variant that you see as well. Variants are impossible to predict and impossible to plan for. You just know that they're going to happen. You just don't know if you're going to be here or here or here. Where are you going to end up? You just don't know. But know this: if you just sat there on the 6 all day long and let it run and work all day long, this is where you would probably end up being, right? If you sat there on the 4 and let it work all day long, work the come out, work everything, this is where you're going to end up being. It's actually, again, one number versus playing 4 is really the comparison here, right? And I think you can do this kind of analysis with any bet that you want to do, right? The 66 press and regress can be done the same way. You're going to lose the $66 6 times. There's no matter of fact, there's no way around that. You're going to lose it. It's going to not work at least 6 times where you're going to lose that, right? Sometimes you're going to get the 66 and press the 88, and you're going to lose that 6 times, right? You're going to lose your initial thing. You're going to lose it on roll 2 sometimes, and yeah, 18 times you're going to win $28 after that thing works out. That's how you do that. You're going to lose 66 12. You're going to win 28 18 times. The math is going to end up being the exact same. It's going to end up being the exact same. It's what you do after that is going to kind of dictate stuff. Anyway, like I said, today's not an exact science, right? I just want to give you a lens on what it looks like to bet one number versus the 7 versus betting 4 numbers versus the 7. And actually betting one number versus the 7 in many cases, except for the 5 and 9, is better than betting 4 numbers, right? You're $18 to the negative betting 4 numbers. On the 6, you're negative 11. The 5 and 9 suck. The 4 and 10, you're actually not doing too bad. Okay, if you catch a little bit of a run, fantastic. You can take advantage of that run. Most of the time, you're not catching a run. You're going to be here. Win-win loss, win-win loss, win-win loss. If you're pressing, you're going to be losing more money than you ought to. Right? If you just same betted the 6, right, you would have the $11 loss. If you're press collect like this, you're losing 180 in the same set of rolls. So your pressing maneuvers can damage you versus just letting it sit there. So there that is. That's all I really got today. That's all I got. Let's see. I'm going to go over to here. Let's see. Any questions? I'm going to go. I've got kind of an early out today because I have work to do, but are there any questions? No Qs. How about PCs? Any PC comments? Anything you want to say, by the way, now's a good time. Put it out there. I got a few minutes that we can talk through some stuff. But yeah, Darksider says comparisons are good. I like the comparisons. They do slow it down. I worry about the speed. Jen called out the speed yesterday as being a thing. If you're trying to play crapsy with me and I'm comparing stuff, it takes a long time. It takes 10 rolls out of the day, right, of me yapping about it. So there's a give and take on that, right? So that's why I asked for some opinions there. Let's see. So what? One of the coolest lines. You're basing efficient math. Yes. Yes, and again, you've got to look at. I got to show you law of big numbers. If I don't show you law of big numbers, then people will go out there thinking that the one I showed, where all the ones come in a row, is the way to win. I got to show the reality of it, right? You got to show what's going to happen over time. And you're right. You can pick and choose times to have your bets out there. And again, I don't want to have the debate of trend betting and seeing patterns and stuff. That's a whole different discussion. If you play that way, that's cool, right? And that comes into like, do you work to come out or not? It's almost the same thing, right? If you want to work it then or not, you're playing into what you're seeing on the dice. And if you want to do that, that's cool. But I got to show these things against the full law of big numbers, because you're playing that law of big numbers over the course of time. And I've said it before. If you take off 20 rolls because you're waiting for a certain thing to happen and then you go in, every time you're on, you're at risk. And you will lose 1 out of 6 times that you're at risk. That's just the way that it works. There's no getting around that. You may dodge it, and that may be the variant that you put yourself in. So that's cool. Yeah, the hole is always deeper the more bets you expose and lose. This is the whole. I think PJ Strong used to say betting inside or across is like picking up nickels in front of a steamroller, right? You're getting a little tiny win for the risk of a huge ass loss, right? And if you're going to same bet that thing forever and ever, he's right. You can see the damage that the 66 inside causes over time compared to a single number bet. However, if you're going to be exposed forever, that's what's going to happen to you. The paycheck, what I do is I'm 2 rolls and I'm out, right? Now, granted, over the course of 6 days, I've seen 12 rolls. I should encounter 2 sevens during that time, roughly, right? 1 out of 6 twice. So I should, hit it 4 times and dodge or get hit whacked twice and make it work 4 or 5 times in that period of time. I'm looking for variance in there. I'm looking for, can I beat it on successive days? So anyway, let's see. I can try that. That would be a win craps thing. There's no way to put that up on screen in that little spot I got. We can win craps that though, right? And again, it's all about when you're exposed. And I think I should do this one of these days and go over that again. If you, and we can actually, I'll go here with it. I got to rephrase what I said earlier, because I think it's probably the most salient point that I can make on all this stuff, right? And on point craps is, at the end of the day, it's gambling, right? Playing a great one, hitting down strategy, back-to-back PSOs, you're out. Can't climb back from that, right? If you go out there 640 across and get whacked twice, you're chasing $1,200, right? If your wins are $100 a piece at 640 across, you gotta win. You gotta beat the 7 12 times now to get back. It takes forever. That's the thing, right? You can't help that. And if you're gonna go 640 across, let's take that example, right? And just let it work all the time. You're gonna win 140. How many times? 24 times. You're gonna lose 640 6 times. You're gonna be upside down in that scenario. There's no way to be up, positive in that. If you go 640 across and you say, I'm only gonna turn my bets on anytime I see 2 sevens in a row, which I know people who do that, where you're gonna wait for 7, 7, so a come out or a 0.7 out or a 7 out, come out 7, turn the bets on. You say, I'm gonna beat what's probably not gonna happen. I'm gonna wait till I see 2 successive 7s and then go live. Okay, fine. Your 640 is live for that roll. You win your money, great, you turn it back off again until it happens again. You might be there all day long. In that scenario, if you get your bets turned on 6 times, if 6 times in the day you see 2 back-to-back 7s and then you turn your bets on, thinking that you found the secret, one of the times that you turn your bets on, of those 6 times that happened, you're gonna get the third 7. You're gonna get 7 down. There's no getting around that. It may not happen in that exact session. You may not have the exact day where that happens, right? But if you do 640 across, alive after 2 sevens for the rest of your life, an average of 1/6 of the time that you have those bets live, you're gonna lose them. It's just the way the dice are. The dice will find you, right? And that's why when I show things like these comparisons, it's always going to be against the perfect pyramid. It's always going to be assuming that you're playing that way forever. Because you got to see what it looks like when you play that way forever. Otherwise, I'm lying to you, right? So you got to see it. And again, turning your stuff off for a short period of time, it gives you a sense of calm while you're waiting for the condition you think is going to be fine to turn your bets on. Fine. It just makes you no different than me going every single time. There's no difference in me going 6 rolls in a row and you going 1 roll on, 6 rolls off, 1 roll on, 6 rolls off. There's no difference. We're still exposed for 6 times. We're still going to get whacked one out of the 6 rolls over time, or on the average. It's just the way that randomness works and the way that dice work. I can't make that not happen, right? I wish I could. Maybe that's why, a lot of us practice throwing, because we want to find ways to make that not happen, right? So anyway, there you go. Wayland's ladder in the chop is the approach, right? If you're in a chop, laddering up and down is the best way to play a chop. However, when you're in a chop, you don't know you're in a chop. You got chopped up, right? You might start playing that way. If the chop continues, you'll be okay, but you can't predict it. That's the thing, right? It just happens to work through it. On Point says, I want to do an episode where I talk about how the dice are living beings that are out to get you. They are. They have ears. They're such a... Dice suck. They totally hear me. Let's see. I'm trying to go through other stuff here if I can see. Badlands. Let's see. Trying to look at other... Expect back-to-back BSOs for sure. Shooter eligibility rules. I'm not a big believer in shooter eligibility. You know that. I don't buy it unless there's a controlled shooter that's working his way to consistency difference. But yeah, let's see. Duracell says 6 shooters, not you versus 1 on is not the same. True. I'll go with you on that one for sure. If it's 6 random people, and let's assume you never throw the dice, or let's assume you're playing Crapsy. Let's assume you're playing online craps, right? When I'm giving these numbers, it's about that. It's not about you with your control. It's about what's happening in the world around you. So if you're going to bet 640 on every shooter, all the rolls, right? Now again, you may say, I'll never do that, or Ed, or I never bet on all the people. Fine. I get you, right? But when you're hot and active, just be careful. All right, I gotta go. It's time for work, y'all. Good show, I think. I don't know. I had fun. These things to me are either mega boring or mega interesting, depending on how you look at the numbers. But when I look at things like this, right? Just the 4 versus just the 5 versus just the 6 over time, it's interesting. Versus the inside. And trying to get 3 or 4 hits and get out, right? It's just non-starter. That's actually not too bad, right? Just doing the 4 and letting it sit there all day long, right? It's an interesting way of looking at stuff. And again, not that I have the answers to anything here. It's just that it's fun to look at that and go, wow, the 4 is hard to roll. I should never bet it. Well, some people never bet the 4 and 10. Right, here's a thing that I would say, always bet the 4 and 10. Compared to going inside, you're better off. So, all right, I'm out of here. And you guys in chat are great. I love that you're all going back and forth on it. I don't have the answers here. I just have to show you what's there. Take from it what you will, and apply your own logic and your own heart to it. Right, whatever you want to do, it's all good. All right, I'm out. Y'all have a good rest of your Tuesday. I'm going to be at work making that money. So. Yeah, see you tomorrow for a new DPC. I don't know what the comparison is going to be tomorrow. I might do the Iron Cross again. We'll see. But that's it. Have a good one. God bless, and bye.